The first rule of video game collecting is not to let your cable management get to this state. That's right, in this video, I have a master plan to sort out the cables. But before we do that, I'm going to take you guys to a little trip, a place I've not been for 1 year. We're going to go see John and Wendy at Alfreton Sales Exchange. Hopefully he's got some decent retro in, but I'm really eager to catch up with them because they're just fantastic people, and it will be nice to see the shop. We'll capture some footage, and then we'll come back because I have a little tip that I want to share with you about cable management and organisation, particularly for those kinds of cables that you might not be using. You might not have it hooked up to your television or your console collection. So let's bounce. And just like that, do you know what I don't like about doing voiceover? You can't hear the native clinking, clanking sounds of the games as we're on the hunt. So let's listen into some native audio, shall we? I love it. I just can't believe you don't sell it as much. Wow. Have you always had these displays with games in?
No, put them out last few weeks.
Got some really good box stuff in. Really, really good. SimCity, that's fantastic. Medieval. Wicked stuff. Aladdin, yeah, look at that.
I bet you've got all these.
I've got some of them. Some I've got. Do you ever see much SNES stuff come in? Super Nintendo? Do you get much in? No.
I nearly get loads.
She does, doesn't she? Look at VHS as well. It's so good.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he had a box of VHS tapes, brand new, all sealed up.
Did he?
He's a wholesaler and he sold them. I don't know what he got for them. Like 25 quid, isn't it?
Really?
Because they're all sealed up.
And what is it? Cassette tapes as well. They seem to be making a bit of a comeback. Massive. Huge. Absolutely huge. What we got here then? Oh, I absolutely love it. You got these boxes are in really nice condition as well. These are.
Yeah.
Really nice. They're hard to find boxed, like good condition boxes.
I bet games are getting harder in it. What's in it? Where is this? What's his name? Oh. Forgot what shop it is.
Whereabouts is it?
You go M1, junction 29, get off.
Is it in Shirebrook?
Shirebrook.
Yes, it was James. Remember? So we have a Rogue Sega Dreamcast console here, a Rogue Sega Mega Drive console. In fact, Alfreton Sales Exchange for me has always been full of treasures, and for those, perhaps you're a new viewer here and you've never seen this particular shop before, this was my childhood retro video game store. I spent a lot of time in here from the age of 9 when we originally moved to this town. So this is in Alfreton, which is in the county of Derbyshire, which is pretty much in the heart of the country. Like I said, or like I will say when we get back to the Lady Lounge, John doesn't use social media, so I will link the address phone number, as well as postcode in the description if you'd like to go and pay a visit. I strongly suggest you get yourselves there because I know you'll find some gems. Now, the particular room we're in at the moment is on the first floor, so the ground floor we'll take more of a look at as we go back downstairs, but this first floor is so full. I've seen it fuller, but since I started to do a lot of retro game hunts in here, John has sold the bulk of the retro game stock that he had. And we often talk about some of the prominent pieces that people have seen on my videos and then gone in to buy them. So that's great, and this is one of the reasons that really motivates me to get out and do these, because it perpetuates the hobby, it perpetuates the business, and I just love being in these places, being able to almost smell the past as well, because you go in this room and you get that kind of wow, you know, you can kind of feel the residual scent and you can feel the residual energy and the memories, and I just buzz off it so much. So John and I were talking here about this particular GameCube release. It wasn't complete. It was priced initially with the Virgin sticker there at £129.99, even down to finesse parts like that. I've seen the original price sticker on a console. Gives me so much joy. Does anybody else ever get that? Do you ever kind of pick up a game and it's got its original price sticker on from your stores, your old high street stores perhaps, or your local retro game stores, and you think, oh my goodness, I can still see it as if it was sat on the top shelf in the shop back in the 90s or the early noughties actually. So as we were talking about GameCube there, so I do pick up some really cool stuff in this, and I will take you through everything later in this episode, and I'll also show you probably the reason why you clicked on this video, and that is really a really good tip, something that I've used to organise my rogue cables. Massive tip. I think everybody should get on this, and that will also be coming later in this glorious episode. So we're just having a little sift through the Sega Dreamcast, and this game I've actually weirdly not seen before. Skateboarding. No prizes for guessing what kind of game this is. It wasn't in the normal Dreamcast case, it was almost in like a CD case, and I didn't pick it up, so spoiler alert, I did not pick it up. I probably would have picked it up had it have been in the original case. I mean, perhaps that was the original case. Like I say, I need to do a little bit more research on that. So that was quite interesting to see. We just had a quick glance through some PS2 stuff. The bulk of the really nice stuff was downstairs in terms of your PS1, a couple of PS2 and 360 stuff downstairs, and we'll be taking a look in a minute at some original Xbox games and gliding over to some Master System titles. Now, you don't see a lot of Sega Master System titles out in the wild, so I'm starting to take a bit, like, there's even some unboxed ones there. But we pay attention specifically to some box ones later on. So if I do see things like that out and about, I'll always take my time to have a look through. And believe you me, guys, as I'm editing this and, you know, I'm kind of watching this back, there are some things that I will be going back in to buy. Now, if you want to pay a trip to John and Wendy's, Alfreton Sales Exchange, they're only open on a Friday and a Saturday. They open between 10 and 11, so definitely don't turn up at 9 because it won't be open. So I would suggest you call in on a Friday and a Saturday, or a Saturday after 11 AM, and you will find them there if there's anything that you want to buy. Original Xbox. So kind of gliding through it, you already saw me pick up Group S Challenge, which we'll talk more about when we get back to the Lady Lounge. But since I picked this up, I've had a look at the gameplay, I've had a vibe for it, and I think, guys, that it is a hidden gem racer. And I only paid £3 for it, so another spoiler alert, I did pick it up and John charged me £3. So definitely check that out. I'll show you a little bit of gameplay so you can get a vibe for it for yourself. But since I've been playing Gran Turismo on my Twitch channel, I've just been so hooked on spying other racing games. I'm very much into my racing games, something that I've never really been into when I was a little girl. It's definitely that the racing genre has been something that I've become more and more hooked on the older I've gotten, and I think that's just the way some of my gaming tastes have changed as I've gotten a little bit older. So yes, we'll continue here. We've got some nice boxed consoles on the top. Some of these are not complete, so if you see anything, make sure you ask John to have a look inside. He's always happy to accommodate, to show you exactly what's inside the boxes. Oh, I need a new SNES controller. I'm not even joking. I really need a new SNES controller. So we'll make a little pile. Ta-da! And then there's stuff here as well. Crash of the Titans. Yeah, I found a couple of bits, yeah. I need a new SNES controller. I've got an Xbox game. I've clocked some stuff over here, which is cool. Let's have a look what we've got here. Nice. Huh, that's cool. That's really cool. I've got loads. I just love it so much. I just absolutely love it. Summer games. That looks cool. This is all like, is this, yeah, it's Master System stuff, isn't it? It's so cool. So cool. What is that?
What's
What is it?
Right, in that big black box.
Where are you looking? Oh, it's the Castlevania, isn't it?
It's what?
Castlevania. I think it's this one.
Yeah.
Hang on. Street Fighter characters. That's cool. That is really cool. Right, we got stuff here to have a look through. Ooh, some N64. WCW Revenge. Yes, no problem. Yes, yes. FIFA 64, really nice condition. Cool. I have this. That's awesome. Monaco GP, Mickey, Ninja Pro Wrestling. Nothing in there I would go for. Carefully put this lid back on. Ooh, let's have a look in here. Let's have a look. Let's have a butcher's. Alright, what do we have? Some Engage stuff. Sega Mega CD, Soul Star, what is that? Mega CD, Thunderhawk. PlayStation, Madden. Oh, we got Unboxed SNES as well. We're going through them. We're definitely going through them bad boys. Phantasy Star Online, episode 1 and 2. And then we've got, what else? Alright, let's have a butcher's through here. We come round. It's mainly football. Sport titles in there.
Right.
Sports titles. I thought I'd have a look through there, but it's all sport. Got some original Xbox. Oh, you see, you got loads of demo discs in as well. That's cool. That's really cool. Batman Rise of Sin Chu. What is that? Cool. Yeah, what is that?
60 quid.
What is it?
It's a watch name lot.
Oh, model. Wow, that's Robotech. Oh, the crow. Whoa, that's awesome.
Actually, there's a good price on it because they've gone up.
Yeah, they.
Some of these figures now are astronomical.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's brilliant though. So good. Right, let's have a look in this little. That's nice. Squeeze past. Let's have a look in here. 1930s?
Yeah. Art Deco. Have you, oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm done in there.
Have you done?
Yeah. I believe so. I don't think there's anything in here. I've got that as well. Yeah, I've got that. Total carnage. It is, isn't it? Nippy. Let's just grab
Doors open downstairs. Just seems to be across the line.
Yeah, it's getting colder outside though as well. Yeah. It's horrid. Oh, Streets of Rage. Some Wonder Boy. Oh, Predator 2. Nice. What do we have? All these demo discs there, guys. Get yourself here if you want some demo discs. 100%. Awesome. Cool. Theme Park World Manual. Nice PS1 stuff in as well. Ooh, what do we got? What is that? Are these open, John? Can I just have a look in? Yeah, awesome. Let's have a butcher's. What we got? Nice. Legend. Back in the car with the heat on, got some really cool stuff to show you, and then some lovely kind of games and things which I will show you. So I'm very happy. We're going to take this, show you exactly what's in here. I actually think the box itself is really cool. Call me crazy, but it is the collector DNA in me that really loves stuff like this. What about you guys? I mean, this is Castlevania branded all around. So super cool, guys. So we're going to get back to the lady lounge. Obviously, we've got cables to do. I'm going to show you my top secret for cable management, and then we'll dive into this. Oh my God. By the time this is done, I can confidently say that you're going to have some pretty good tips on how this is going to be organised. Let's go. Update. This is the pile that's left. It's actually not as bad as I was thinking. So we have Sega console, kind of a 16-bit stuff here, which I will go through. Power supplies for 3DSs and GBAs. This is also Sega aerial stuff. This is a Saturn, Sega Master System. We have GameCube. We have Wii, 360, GameCube, N64, sorry. And then random peripherals. And then a completely miscellaneous, like a step-down converter. So about halfway through. it's not as bad as I was anticipating. So let's crack on. Guys, just a quick question. I found these and I cannot think for the life of me. Why is it not focusing? What on earth? There we go. Oh, there we go. What these are for. Which handhelds do these fit in? If anybody could just help me out, it would save me going through all of the handhelds that I own. So I have 2 of them. They're unbranded. And I just can't think for the life of me what that fits. Can anyone help? So here's the next part of the plan. We have large Ziploc bags. As you can see, you get the picture. So things are going to be dead easy to pull out. For consoles, if I want to set consoles up that aren't already set up. So I will show you the finishing product. As you can see, we've gone from a pile of rubble to some organised fashions of things. This is miscellaneous. Again, some things I don't know what they are. Some things like this power, this step down converter, I am just going to put in here. These are all games that need to go away as well. There's a few random bits in there, but I'm not too fussed about that. So we're going to store everything back in this cable box, which is what I've used for years. And voila, the finishing product. I'm going to just put those 360 cables on the top, but I know what they are and I know where they are. So my tip is usually Ziploc bags. It is so much easier to go PS1, boom, pull it out. This episode has been packed. Hopefully now you know a little bit more about how I've decided to store those rogue cables, and maybe you guys can get some ideas yourself. Ziploc bags are the way forward. They are a retro game collector's best friend. We've also taken a trip out to John's, the second-hand shop in Alfreton. He doesn't have Facebook, he doesn't have a website, but I will link the address and the phone number. If there was anything you guys wanted to pick yourselves up in there, go to the description and punch in the postcode into your GPS and pay John and Wendy a visit. Picked up some really, really nice stuff. We're going to dive into detail with this. Do excuse me while I crouch down and just pick up this. Now, first, we saw this in the car, but I just really love the bland yet effective advertising on this edition of Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2. We're going to take a look at it, but I'll come back to that. But it's a really, really nice edition, and it's going straight up there with the rest of the PS3 collection up in the lady loft. So we'll come back to that, but I've got a nice few pieces of kit here, including this. Finally picked up a Nintendo 64 expansion pack. While it still is small in size, you do need this to play quite a few Nintendo 64 games. I'll put the list on screen now from the basic Google hit for the N64 expansion pack games. We actually had this in a Nintendo 64 and couldn't get it out because we didn't have the right tool. So I'm going to take the N64 back to John's because all I wanted out of it was this. And in doing so, I realised that I don't actually own a copy of Donkey Kong 64. So that is now on my retro game collector list. I might even stream it. I've been doing not quite a few streams on my N64, but I have streamed from original hardware on my Twitch channel on the N64, so DK64 with my little expansion pack could be a thing for a future Twitch stream. This next game is a Master System game called Summer Games. You never see me pick up Master System games. This is in glorious condition with the little sticker here. It's even got the poster inside behind the manual. And Summer Games was released in 1984 on the Commodore 64, but later for some 8-bit home console action on the Sega Master System. This is not anything like California Games. It would be easy to look at the front cover and the title and think California Games. It's more along the, it takes itself a lot more seriously actually. There's way more events, the frame rate is absolutely shambolic, but it's actually quite fun to play, and you compete in different events and you've got to get the highest score. So it's quite fun, and it's 1 to 4 players as well. So, you know, you can have your mates round, get a Dom's in, you know, Domino's Pizza, and play some 4-player action on Summer Games. But how gorgeous is that box with a little tag on the top? There's not barely even any dust on it. So I thought, you know, I'll give that a go. Now I've cleared up all my wiring, it will be easy just to plug it into my Sega Master System Model 1 down there and bang on some Summer Games. With the release of Batman recently, I clocked this. Batman Rise of Sin 2. Now this is a game that is dull in colour palette, but reminds me audibly of the likes of Fighting Force. It's just got that kind of, every punch that you land and kick that you land sounds a little bit boxy like it did on Fighting Force. The combat is very much the same as, say, the later Batman games like Arkham City. It's fast, it's furious. You know, you do feel quite powerful as Batman in this, and I actually really like it. And got me kind of thinking again, because of the latest Batman film release, which I'm yet to see, I thought I'd give this a pop. And directly behind is a game that I'm strongly going to recommend that you buy. This is Group S Challenge. For me, I've got this now on the original Xbox. I paid £3 for this. I paid £5 for this as well, because a lot of people say, why don't you tell us what you paid? I'll link everything in the description if you want to see everything, all the games and what I actually paid. But this is a really gorgeous looking racing game on the Xbox. Doesn't again take itself too seriously, but it reminds me of the tone and vibe of Rage Racer on the PS1 with the colour palette. This obviously looks way more polished because, well, it just does. And I love the reflections on the back of the windows on the cars. It really adds that extra dynamic effect for me. And with obviously Gran Turismo and of like past couple of months Forza Horizon 5, I have been pummeling the racing games on Twitch. I've also streamed Outrun 2006 on PS2 original hardware. So I'm very much kind of all over the place. My eyes, I'm always looking for really good racing games, and I want to put it out there now. If you want a nice cheap game, Group S Challenge, it's absolutely fantastic, guys. Go and snag yourselves a copy on your original Xbox consoles. Next up then, we've got a little PS1 game here. This is Spot Goes to Hollywood. Cool Spot for me was such an iconic character in the 90s, just as like Fido Dido was. And I first played Cool Spot on the Sega Mega Drive, and I can still see the kind of 7-Up bottle and, you know, Cool Spot surfing. This is not a 2D platformer, this is an isometric game in which you take many different formats. I mean, if you think Hollywood, there's like a pirate theme, there's all different kinds of themes. I recently picked up Spot Goes to Hollywood on a different console, and I saw this. This was down in the on the ground floor. As you come down the stairs, there was a glass cabinet with some PS1 games in, and we had a look through it if you didn't skip this episode. So I decided to pick this one up because it looked fun, and I like having fun with video games. Finally then, this next game is quite possibly one of the worst Mortal Kombat games known to woman. This is MKA, or rather Mortal Kombat Advance. I actually picked this up really because it was more the collector in me than the player, because this as a collector's piece, GBA games, really, really nice. This is box complete as well, and in John's shop, I actually said to him in the footage, your Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games are beautifully conditioned. You don't see them this well preserved. A lot of mine are crushed and really scuffed around the edges. So I picked it up, but this sounds awful, it looks awful. It's been joked about on the internet that this particular Mortal Kombat game should have been on one of the very first colour flip phones that was to ever be released about 20 odd years ago. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this if you're after a good Mortal Kombat experience, but if you can find a cheap-ish copy, then what the hell if you've got the disposable income? Give yourselves a go with some Mortal Kombat Advance, but I didn't tell you to do that, okay? All right? So we'll have a look at this glorious box at my feet. Shout out to all the Castlevania fans. Let's take a look at this beautiful edition before I go put it on display upstairs. Alrighty, so here it is. This is a beautiful encrusted piece of kit there with the Belmont crest on the front. Let's go ahead and take this out. All right, so there we go. We have the steelbook of the game with some lovely artwork on there. None of the codes work, I don't believe, but I'll cover them anyway. So steelbooks are always really nice additions if you get them. I don't necessarily seek them out, but they're pretty cool if you get them. A bit of paraphernalia there. Got a lovely book, a lovely art book, which we'll have a glance through. I believe there's some, some figures right there. I'm not a huge lover or collector rather. Again, I don't seek them out, but I can appreciate the detail that goes into these things. I really, really can. If there are any figures that you guys collect, let me know. I mean, this is just really cool. It's nice to see this complete. I will have all of this out on display. Now let me just kind of shimmy that back because we're going to put all this back nice and neat. So we've got a hardback Belmont book, like Castlevania Lords of Shadows art book. Really, really nice. Obviously gloss finish, little bit of a forward by the studio head. I do need to finish watching this on Netflix. Very digestible, I must say. I really just like the fact that it's just mainly art and not words. I hate it when books sell themselves as, oh look, it's an art book, and then there's just like essays of words, and I much prefer this. I think it's just so stunning, especially for the likes of Castlevania, where it's quite kind of arty anyway, isn't it? You know, we've got the Dark Monk. Oh my god, this is so cool. This is so cool. You can actually pick this variant up pretty cheap off eBay. There were some sold listings for about £25. John let me have this for 25 quid, so it's pretty good. But this is a great addition, guys, and if you have a favourite Castlevania game, of course we've had the re-release of 3 massive Castlevania games released on the GBA. It was the Advanced Collection. I did a review on it, and yes, notoriously difficult to play, but a ton of fun in the same breath. So yeah, that's what's included in this collector's piece. First rule of video game collecting is sort your flipping cables out. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've definitely enjoyed the eclectic mixture of what we've done here today. Please, guys, if you've enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button, and please share any episode that you think is worth sharing out there with other content creators and retro gamers alike. I love this community and I'm very passionate about it, and I hope to see you all in the comment section and in the next episode. But for now, have a lovely day. My name is Jenna. Take care. See you soon.